talk about why we are so afraid of self-care. As you guys know, I wrote a book dealing with self-care and how we treat ourselves. And I just got some feedback from my book, and someone said that basically they were struggling with chapter one, and chapter one is about self-esteem. So I wanted to figure out a way to help those who are struggling with self-esteem issues and basically how does that play into self care? I think from an early age, we are taught that we shouldn't be selfish, very negative things about ourselves. We really judge ourselves very harshly. And we're growing up hearing those things, and the way people treat us and how we allow people to treat us really stick with us throughout our years. So, being 35, 40, however old you are at this time, or you could be younger, we learn that we should put others first. And that causes us to have a lot of anxiety, depression, and several other mental health disorders that we may or may not choose to acknowledge or treat. So, what do you do? Why practice self care? Why practice self care, and how does self care impact our self esteem? Well, when we take care of ourselves, we learn how we want to be treated. We learn ways to communicate with others. We learn to take care of ourselves, and basically, taking care of ourselves leads to better mental health, and which also leads to great self-esteem. The way we look at ourselves, we start to value ourselves better. We start to um, not take things that people are saying about us personally. We learn to set boundaries. So, as you're reading, for those of you who have purchased my book, as you're reading chapter one of my book, which is also week one, remember that self care is the way you view yourself and how you treat yourself, and self esteem is the way you view yourself. Sorry. Um, Here's some tips. We're looking at negative cognitions, things that we were told growing up and things that we believe now. I think that our relationships with ourselves and other people really shape how we respond to things. Those reactions that we have to certain situations stem from how we view ourselves. So once you start to value yourself, once you start to determine that you deserve happiness, then things start to change in your life. Like you may lose some friends, you may decide that the work that you're doing at work is not where you want to be, the things that you're doing in life is not where you want to be. But you're able to move past those things and take a leap of faith because you know your worth, you know your self-esteem is high, you know your value, and you're willing to take chances that you didn't want to take before. I'm not saying that my book will change your whole personality. I'm saying that my book will inspire you to start taking steps that you probably wouldn't have taken if you had not taken the self care journey. Practicing self care is so important. Starting at a young age, I think looking back at it, I had no idea what self care was. Having my first baby at 19, I did not know what self care was. I had no idea what that meant. I thought self care was basically being able to take care of my child, be a good wife, cook and clean, and that was self care. There was no like mommy time, there was no me time, there was no time for me to just sit back and relax. I didn't know what self care was. I don't think I really even paid attention to self care until I entered my master's program. Then I was like, oh, okay, it's okay to take care of myself. Because my master program really encouraged us to basically not get burnt out, basically by therapy. Um, for those of you who do not know, I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. So I started my graduate program in 2013. That's not true. In 2011. And I did not know what self care was. I noticed that I was aggravated. I experienced anxiety. I experienced a little depression. My master's program was challenging, and I didn't know why. It was because I wasn't taking care of myself. I thought that I can be a good best friend, a good wife, a good mom, a good student. I can be a part of this organization, that organization, and continue to do things and not take any breaks. No. No, 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 no. I found that um, there's a limit, and when I reached my limit, it didn't go so well. It wasn't pretty. So I learned the word self care. Self care meant to set boundaries. When I started to set boundaries, things started to change in my life, and those changes really, really made me who I am today. I didn't understand the changes that was going on in my life, but I knew that taking care of myself was not wrong. Being able to set boundaries, say no, I can't do this, no, I can't do that, no, I can't be a part of this organization, no, I don't have time for this, really changed my life. And I would say several years later, I'm still learning how to set boundaries. So boundaries is a part of self-care. Being able to say no and not feel bad about it is a part of self-care. Being able to treat tell others how to treat you or teach others how to treat you is a part of self-care. So how does that play into your self-esteem? Well, one part of the book in week one, it asks basically, how do you treat yourself? What is your relationship with yourself? And you actually have to sit down and think about, how do you treat yourself? Like, do you treat other people better than you treat yourself? If these were your children, your best friend, your mom, someone that you care about, would you allow people to treat your friends that way? And if not, why is it okay for them to treat you a certain way? So self-care and self-esteem go hand in hand. Um, when we think about the relationships we have, we keep pouring into those relationships and pouring into those relationships, and we get nothing out. Is that self-care? And what does that do to our self-esteem? The choices we make every day impact our self-esteem. It may impact it like piece by piece by piece, but over the years, you find that you have changed a lot and you don't know why. It's because of the choices that we make. It chips away at our self-esteem, and it makes us feel certain ways, which also, again, I have to keep bringing up the words depression and anxiety because those are two big trigger words. And in the mental health community, people deal with anxiety and depression all the time. And I think, I'm not saying that it's true, but I find that it's our self esteem that really impacts our anxiety and depression as well. Well, not our anxiety and depression, it really impacts anxiety and depression as well, because we put ourselves in situations sometimes that we shouldn't be in. And it is due to poor self esteem, low self esteem, or not enough self esteem. So, how do we start changing our self esteem? Basically, we start treating ourselves the way we want others to treat us. Like, we start from ourselves first, and then we can pour into other people. But if you're not pouring into yourself, what are you giving out? You're not really giving out anything. You're just, I guess, you're just utilizing energy that's not productive. So as you're thinking about self-care and you're thinking about self-esteem, remember that this is the first stepping stone. How you view yourself will determine how successful you are, what kind of relationships you have, how you treat yourself, how others treat you, and how you view the world. Because if you're having a good day and you think highly of yourself and you're in a good place, um, the things that bothered you yesterday don't bother you today because you're in an elevated place. So having a high self-esteem not only just impact you, but impact the people that you encounter. So what do you do to increase your self-esteem? Of course, the answer is practice self-care. Yeah, the answers to the majority of my questions are practice self-care. So little bitty things that you can start doing to appreciate yourself. That means taking time alone, being by yourself. I know that's scary, but being by yourself. Um, Unplugging from social media. Just allowing your thoughts to be yours, pure, without any other input from others. You can treat yourself to something nice. It doesn't always have to be expensive. It can be, go to lunch with yourself, go to dinner with yourself, treat yourself to breakfast. It can be journaling or meditation, which are my biggest things. I love journaling. I love meditation. Those are my happy moments. So it does not have to be something big or expensive to do for yourself, but treat yourself to something at least once a day. If that means like spending 30 minutes with yourself alone, not catering to anyone but yourself, that is self care. And that's you valuing yourself. So once you start building a routine, then you're able to start expanding that, and the self-care grows, your self-worth grows, your self-value grows, your self-esteem grows, and then you're able to teach other people how to treat you, as well as teach other people how to set boundaries. So I gave you a small list of things you can start doing for yourself, to help build your self-esteem. I also like affirmations. Affirmations are really important. Everybody have different things that they're working on, so find several affirmations that you enjoy. I like to put affirmations on the mirror in the bathroom with a dry erase marker and practice that affirmation. You can do that too. Like, think of something that you really, really want to affirm in your life and write that on the mirror. I am successful. I am thoughtful. I am appreciative. I'm grateful. I am smart. I'm intelligent. I'm beautiful. Um, I can get that job. I can be productive. I can set a sleep schedule that I can work with. I can be financially responsible. Like, just any affirmation that you feel like you really want to work on. That helps you build your self-esteem as well. And that's self-care, especially the one about being financially responsible. Being I am financially responsible is like a big thing. That can be something that ties into self-care, because when you are being financially responsible, you are making decisions for yourself, for your now, for present, and oh sorry, for your present and for your future. You're making financial decisions for yourself and for your future. So those are some affirmations that I like to use. If you have some that you like to use, please share them with me. However, thank you guys for tuning in. Have a good day.